Hi Pisces, welcome to your end of January 2017 General Tarot Scope. It's Rena here. That card again. Okay. Wow. That's some major arcana cards. Okay. Well, let me see this. Well, this is really, when I talk about these soulmate connections, this is definitely going along with that. Now, of course, and going into February, it's going to be your time, and you're going to have a solar eclipse in your own sign too. So this may be a lot of stuff. And in January, you know, towards the end of the month, there's going to be a new moon, and this is going to fall in your 12th house. And this is your house on the universal wheel. So you control the 12th house, rule it with your ruling planet Neptune. And it's a house, and it's funny because here it is. The moon is connected to Pisces, okay? So that can be past life stuff coming up, and that could be soulmate stuff. What I can talk about is that in the past position, this could have been you coming to a realization, perhaps, and it's almost like the fog cleared, and you finally, it kind of like sunk in about something. And this is, this is a general reading, so this doesn't have to be just love stuff. If it is, it could be about a person that perhaps you were maybe separated from, maybe you hadn't seen in a long time. It is like, I think it is somebody from the past. And if it's not somebody that you knew in childhood or in adolescence, then it could be somebody that you met and you felt an instantaneous feeling of familiarity with them, which oftentimes we think, okay, that's a past life connection. That's something, I'm meeting this person, but we were destined to meet. It was all supposed to happen that way. And in those particular situations, there may be things that, you may have gotten married to somebody else. You may have, become involved with somebody else, maybe even had a family and went on with your life. Let's say it was a high school sweetheart, and something happened where now it's finally happening. Sometimes, what happens is you get divorced, they get divorced, and there's this window of opportunity, and you find each other after many years, and because it's time. That was what was meant to happen. You were meant to have these other relationships in the meantime, and now you can be reunited with this person that you always either had, held, a torch for, or maybe it was just that you always longed for that, because it reminds you of a time in your life too that life was really sweet and really magical and very uncomplicated and just loving And maybe now things feel like cold and not as, you don't have the same feelings of happiness. Well, I shouldn't say happiness, but the feelings of just this, the purity of your emotions. Maybe, I made a video about loving Pisces and about how being ruled by Neptune affects you. Even people that are type A personalities or Pisces, there's always a part of you that is highly idealistic and very prone to feeling quite crushed or, sorely disappointed by other people's, behavior and attitudes, because you tend to be very caring and peaceful and gentle. And you don't understand why people have to be the way that they are. And so you may have had some of those experiences, and you think back to a time when everybody seemed to get along better, and it wasn't so scary, it wasn't so, you didn't feel alienation. But I have to tell you something, because there can be a something that you don't know going on behind the scenes. So don't get carried away. I mean, even if you've met somebody, let's say online, you've reunited with somebody, and you're like, oh my God, this is going to be, the greatest thing since sliced bread, and you never know. There could be things that they've told you that are not. Don't think that because you have a past with somebody, whether it's, in high school or in grammar school or in past lives, that it's necessarily going to end well. Because I had a situation with a friend, and they ended up marrying somebody from their childhood, and it ended up disastrously. And I thought it was so cool. They were both divorced, that they found each other again, but it did not end well. Now, this may be a karmic relationship, however. Karmic relationships, the word karma just means action. So it just means like you've had a history with this person. It doesn't mean that it's going to be, a great situation. So the moon card is about deception. And so make sure that you're not being gullible and believing you're getting swept away by what somebody else is telling you. And maybe it's not all that it could be. Also, it can be just advising you to, operate intuitively in future relationships. Maybe you had a relationship with an air sign individual. Okay, this would be a Gemini, a Libra or Aquarius that ended badly. And part of the reason is because you were somehow gullible. You believed what they told you, and they told you lies. If I had to, place a bet, I would say it'd probably be a Gemini person, if that was the scenario. And and you're an easy mark, most of you, because you are very, you believe in the best in humanity. You see the best in people. That should never be a flaw. But it can be when you're the victim of it, It can be a flaw when you're the victim of it. It's good to be idealistic and to see goodness in other people. But be idealistic and realistic at the same time. You can see the good in someone and still see when there are red flags going on. There was something else I wanted to tell you, and now I can't remember what it is. I hope I remember before the end of this reading. I really do. The card that crosses you is the Ace of Cups. So if there is, in this particular situation, you may have some other, if you're trying to get a relationship off the ground, there may be extenuating circumstances that prevent that from happening. Maybe the other person is not available for whatever reason. They are married. They are in the midst of a nasty divorce and they can't start dating around. Whatever is happening, you have to make sure that if you really believe that this person is for you, then don't throw it away because it's not something that you can start right away. Just, have patience and know that, there is such a thing as divine timing. And if it's meant to be, you will see it progress at some point. And now, of course, you don't want to wait forever, but being able to not need a relationship to progress at the level that you want it to right away is a good thing to be able to do. Maybe you don't start dating this person or having physical relations with them. Maybe you can just have a friendship, as long as they are in the process of breaking up with somebody, if they are kind of connected that way. Obviously, if they are still married, that might not be an ethical thing to do, but if they are telling you that they can't get involved romantically, maybe at least you can keep in touch or something like that. But just realize that right now there may be something. And you do have, as the month ends, you're going to have the sun in the 12th house. And usually this is about finishing up that past solar cycle. So you're kind of like in cleanup mode. And whenever your sun enters, whatever degree your sun or rising sign is of Pisces, that is when you will start to see your energy, your physical energy pick up, but also your feelings of newness, wanting to do some, start a new, turn a new page in your book, and everything like that. But up until then, it might be tying up loose ends. The advice is the Hierophant. This is, I think in this context, it's about searching for meaning in your life. What is it that you're really, really looking for? Are you looking for something, are you somebody who is neglecting the spiritual side, even though you're a Pisces and you're the most psychic spiritual sign of the zodiac? Sometimes people who are very much like that, they tend to reject it because they feel like it's more of a curse or something to them. Or maybe when they were young, they were discouraged from, sharing their psychic gifts. So depending on different factors, or maybe, they were forced to participate in a religion that was very oppressive to them. So sometimes people just abandon, anything spiritual altogether. And it's telling you that having a philosophy of life can really help you to navigate all of the challenges in your life. Because even if this is making sense to you in a career perspective, it could be that you have abandoned a profession that was mostly like a mental profession, like maybe the law or maybe teaching, because you had something like a childhood desire to do something, and that's what the Six of Cups represented. Or maybe it's creative, that you are a natural artist, and that certainly is true for many Pisces people. And, sometimes it's hard to feel like you can make a living with this sort of line of work. And the Hierophant is saying, well, how do you view your life? Do you think your life is, you're just here to make money, breed, and die? Or do you have like a higher perspective on what your life is, the meaning of it, the actual meaning of it? And the outcome, well, it doesn't get much more idealistic and hopeful than this, is the Star card. So it's about healing. It's about really following your North Star, that guides you and leads you to be aligned with your true desires in life. And it's the higher desires, not the lower nature, but the higher nature. And towards your happiness that makes you feel whole. Because, you know, just like with love readings, you know, if this is a love situation, there could be like a Taurus person, for instance, represented by the Hierophant. But the outcome is having your dreams come true. And that can only happen when you are listening to your own higher self. And in this case, it's more of a, I don't know, I'd say it's more of a conventional framework of philosophy, but something that makes sense to you, that, you know, moves you to honor yourself so that you can achieve these things that you want to achieve. I mean, you have the Six of Cups, the Nine of Cups, and the Star card. These are wonderful cards of, you know, just feeling happy and fulfilled and hopeful and, you know, soul love. And that you know, it doesn't get much better than that. So I hope you enjoyed this, Pisces. If you'd like a private reading, please click on the link below this video. Otherwise, have a great month. Bye.